Head coach Jim Larranaga. Same reminders as before, courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as the coaches and student athletes. Please silence all cell phones and provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question. If you're joining us on Zoom, I know we have a few more for this session. Please use the raise hand function for any questions, and recording press conferences on cell phones prohibited. Coach, any questions? Back right.
Hi, Coach. Lexi Swat with WNYT. Welcome to Albany. Speaking on behalf of NBC6 in South Florida, can you just give us an update on Norchad and what his impact either on or off the court for you guys will mean for the team?
Well, his impact is always huge. He's got the biggest personality you could ever imagine. His energy on and off the court, his relationship with his teammates and our community is sensational. And we'll find out in about a half hour whether or not he's going to be able to go, because we're going to put him through a workout today and see how he does. And if he's good, we're good. If he's not, we'll know it and we'll make the adjustment.
Hey, Coach, Jeff Rabjohn, Speaks.com. Wanted to get your thoughts on Nigel Pack and sort of what do you see as the biggest impact he's made for your team, the success you had this year?
I love Nigel. He's made such a tremendous transition from being a shooting guard at Kansas State to being a point guard at Miami. He's had the ball in his hands. He's quarterbacked our team. He's done a great job of getting everybody else involved while still scoring the ball on a very regular basis. And there was I think I saw a stat, he was actually our leading scorer in the month of February. And to be able to do that and still get everybody else involved is terrific. He's a catalyst on defense. He always guards the opposing team's point guard, and he's doing a terrific job at that end of the floor as well. His teammates love him, and we are ultra confident in his abilities.
Right here.
Coach Sean Martin with the Times Union here at Albany. Talk about defending Tucker DeVries and what he brings to the table, and is there a player in the ACC you can compare him to?
Well, first of all, it's very hard to compare a player of his capability because he's so versatile. The closest one might be a Hunter Tyson from Clemson, but Hunter Tyson is more of a specialist. The thing about DeVries is he can do everything. He can shoot the three, he can put the ball on the ground and drive it, he can post you up. He's an outstanding passer, can use ball screens, but he can also be the ball screener. So we don't find many guys like that in college basketball at all. The guy is an NBA talent, and we know he's going to be a hard cover for us.
Michelle Kaufman, Miami Herald. Welcome, Jim. I just want to ask about your team's mentality. I saw the little video, don't pick us, like a little bit of an underdog still. Why do you think it is that a team that reached the Elite Eight and won the regular season ACC title, why do you think that the team still feels a little bit, I don't want to say slighted, but maybe underappreciated?
No, I don't think the team feels that way. I think the media does. I think they're always voting us. Last year, they voted us 12th in the ACC. This year, 4th. And quite frankly, I don't think my coaching staff and players really care about that. I think what we care about is playing great basketball, being the best that we can be each and every game. I think the guys feel very, very confident in their abilities. We've won the regular season. We've been ranked in the top 25 or 20 almost all season long. We believe in ourselves, and that video was, I think, really well done. That wasn't our players' idea. That was, I think, what they call it, Players Tribune. That was their idea. The guys liked it, so we did it. It was pretty good, though, wasn't it?
Sure.
My follow-up is how, you have so much experience with getting teams prepared for tournaments. How is this team's preparation different or similar to last year? Last year, you guys came in and made kind of a surprise run to the Elite Eight. How have you approached entering this Albany tournament with this particular team?
Well, what I've shared with the players is if there's 68 teams in the tournament. Every one of them has earned their way in, either by winning their conference tournament and is on a winning streak, or has been invited as an at-large team, and only 36 schools get to do that. So everybody in the tournament has a really good team. And so we don't talk about seeding. We don't care where we're seated. We don't care where our opponent is seated. What we care about is not who we play or where we play, but it's how we play. We need to play really well. We know that. We need to execute our game plan better than our opponent executes their game plan. Because everybody you face is very, very capable of beating you. And we feel very confident that no matter who we get matched up with, we feel very, very good about our chances as well.
Hey, Jim. Adam Zagoria, New York Times. How you doing?
Hey, Adam.
Hi. I know you're not playing against Coach Pitino, but he's here. Obviously, there's a lot of speculation about his future. Just in terms of him as a trendsetter or cutting-edge coach, started with a lot of three-pointers at Providence and matchup zone. Are there any specific examples where you've seen Rick really kind of ahead of the curve and other coaches followed suit, or the game followed suit?
Well, in regard to Rick Pitino, I would start with his experience at the five-star basketball camp, where he developed his teaching skills. He had been a good player at UMass, but he became a much better teacher, coach, and he was innovative. So he had the full court press, and then maybe go back to a matchup zone, and he experimented with different things. First at Boston University, and then in the NBA, then at Providence, then at Kentucky, then at Louisville. He's had a lot of opportunity to try different things because he's had so many teams with different personnel. And I think when you have that, now that he has it at Iona, he has all that experience to rely on. Okay, this is what works. This is what doesn't work. And, wherever he coaches, he's a Hall of Famer and going to do a great job. Oh, I'm sure. I don't know his coaching tree completely, but he's had a lot of guys that have worked for him that have done very well.
Right behind you.
Hey, Jim, Michael Rothstein, ESPN. I kind of want to follow on the Rick Pitino train a little bit. Earlier today, he said he wanted to coach for another decade. He's 70. Where do you stand on how long do you want to go when he's talking another decade and being around 80? And you guys are at least contemporaries in that department.
Well, I would say it this way. I'm going to coach as long as the University of Miami would like me to be their head coach. I have a contract now. I intend to meet my responsibilities and try to be the best leader and ambassador of the University of Miami, our basketball program, our athletic department, and the university as a whole. Whether that's 3, 4 years, 10 years, I don't know. I'm older than Rick by a few years. Not that much, but a few. And so, I don't forecast or predict the future. I'm just enjoying my time right now. I live in the present.
Anyone else? Oh, no worries.
I took my glasses off.
Back to the front.
Hey, how are you?
I thought I was your favorite Jewish writer. I don't know about that. I think you have a lot of
Hey,
favorite
John.
Jewish
I couldn't see you then.
writers. You have a lot of favorite Jewish writers. We'll debate later. Jim, I'm just wondering, back on the age thing a little bit, does it mean more each time, to make the tournament, to bring a team into a tournament? Do you have a different appreciation and love for it because you've been doing it so long? And does each one mean more to you now than it did a long time ago?
I think my appreciation really began as a mid-major coach, realizing how difficult it is to get to the NCAA tournament. At Bowling Green, we couldn't do it. At George Mason, no one really gave us a chance. They told me, you're never going to win the league. You're like the worst team. I was like, that's not right. But when we got there for the first time, we had to win the conference tournament. Then our goal was, hey, if we don't win the tournament, can we get an at-large bid? And we were the first CAA team to do that in 2006, and that got us to the Final Four. Then we got back in 2008, 2011, and each time it just became more significant because of how difficult it really is for a mid-major team in a one-bid league to do that. Then when we moved to Miami, and you're facing the Blue Bloods, you got Duke and Carolina and Syracuse and Louisville and Notre Dame, you're saying to yourself, shoot, this is even more difficult because you got so many people in front of you and only so many teams can go. So every time we've gotten there in 2013 and beyond has been very special. And I know it's very special for each member of the team because they might only go through it one time. And so you want to make that trip very memorable. Last year we were able to do it. A few years back we lost to Loyola from the Missouri Valley, by the way, and we made it very memorable for Sister Jean. You know, and to this day that drives me nuts because we got beat on a buzzer beater. So, you know, every year is special.
One more.
Hi, Coach. Alyssa Hurdle from the Des Moines Register. You mentioned Loyola. I was going to ask you about that. You know, obviously a different team, a different MVC opponent, but do you take anything from that matchup into this one against Drake?
Well, not just that matchup, but every time my teams have faced a Missouri Valley team, we faced Wichita State back in 2006, not just once, but twice. We played them at Wichita State, and then we played them in the NCAA Tournament Sweet 16. We've played Creighton that same year, and they beat us by 22. So I remember that very, very clearly. And then we went to Creighton the next year, and they beat us by 1. We have the utmost respect for the Missouri Valley Conference. It's a basketball league. They don't really devote energy to football. And most of them, I don't think, even have football. But their basketball is vitally important to them. They draw great crowds. And Drake right now is really on a roll. Coach DeVries has done a great job. They've got 5 straight 20-win seasons. They've won 13 of their last 14 games. They got guys who are like 25 years old. So, I mean, they're really, really good. We have the utmost respect for them and their league.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Hey, John,